Hey friend, Roger Christopherson here again, and you're probably wondering why I'd even be babbling about Daughtry, but there's actually a really good reason. Part of that is there was absolutely nothing coming out this week that really struck any interest in me at all, so I decided to give Daughtry's new EP a chance. It's called Shock to the System Part 1. I guess he's jumped about on this board, this bandwagon of, yeah, if I could talk, releasing EPs, which is, I don't know, it's fine with me. If it gets bands releasing more, music more regularly, then yeah, do it. I remember when bands used to release an album like at least once a year, and now it's years in between. So if, bands are going to start doing that to get more music out, whatever. It seems like so strange. I'm just going to interject real quick that it's so much easier to make music nowadays and cheaper, and yet we see less and less of it from these bands. So I don't know, whatever. But anyway, yeah, Daughtry is like one of these guys that, when he first came out, what was that song, It's Not Over? Was that what it was called? I can't remember now. First came out, after he lost American Idol, which I didn't watch, and I didn't know anything about him until I heard that song. I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. He's got a cool voice. I actually liked his voice. He actually has one of these very distinctive sounding voices. Nobody really sounds like him. He doesn't really sound like anybody else, so that's kind of a cool thing about him. It's a heavier sounding voice. But as albums went on, it seemed to get more mellow, I don't know, more just mainstream and generic, and I just stopped listening. Personal opinion, that's just how it happened with me. Didn't get the couple last ones that were out, and I saw this and I figured, hey, well, I haven't listened to Daughtry in a while. I'll give it a listen. And it's way, way, way different than anything I was expecting or had heard from him at all. It is very heavy. The rock songs on this, they're all rock songs. There's one slower one, but yeah, out of the 6 songs, 5 of them they're heavy. And I noticed that these got co-writing shared here with Marty Fredrickson, who I remember from way back, late 80s, early 90s there, as being a singer and a guitar player in a few different bands. I'm trying to think there was one where he worked with Bonham a little bit, and I think it was called Mother Earth, not Mother Earth, what the heck was it called? I don't know, something that, it was something that transitioned from Bonham. If anybody can remember what that is, please let me know, because I'm slipping in my mind for some reason. And he worked with, he's worked with Aerosmith, he wrote with them, I think he produced some stuff, Buck Cherry, Ozzy, I think he wrote with Ozzy. I know he wrote a whole bunch of stuff with Motley Crue. He's been involved with Faith Hill. He actually sang the lead vocals in that movie, the band Almost Famous. I can't remember the name of the band, but on all those songs that were in that movie, he was the lead singer on that. So anyway, he's worked with a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people. What was that other band that we used to do? Brother Kane. Yeah, I remember that. He had something to do with them too. But anyway, so I saw that name. I'm like, oh, cool. That's cool, So yeah, song's heavy. I didn't know until after I listened to this the first time that Chris Daughtry had lost his wife and his daughter within a very short time of each other. So this was basically his therapy, his way of dealing with it, and the songs are based around that. A lot of that's on here, and you can definitely hear it in the singing. The one slow song I was talking about, Nervous, that song doesn't really go anywhere, honestly, but the singing on it, you can hear the emotion in his voice. Musically, it was just kind of left me kind of like, meh. And there's a lot of programming, and the production on this is very modern sounding rock. I hate to say that, but it reminded me of like Five Finger Death Punch, which is not a bad thing, but that's what it reminded me of. And a lot of the bands that try to sound like that, and it kind of, the production wise, was just, everything's like full throttle the whole time, and then it, drops out and does some weird programming sounds, and then kicks back in, and tries to rock. But it's not my favorite production style. When everything's just quantized and pushed to the max, it just loses the human feel for me. And that's the one negative thing I will say about this, is that it doesn't have that band feel. It has that overproduced modern rock sound to it, and just in my ears, that's what it sounds like. You may disagree, but to me, that's what it sounded like. But the songs are really cool, and it's heavy, and that's the type of stuff I really like listening to him sing. I haven't really heard him do anything quite this heavy. I don't think ever. So it was kind of cool to hear him doing that. And if this is what part 2 is going to sound like, then cool, I'm on board. So I'm not going to delve too deep into anything else on this, but yeah, that was my initial thoughts on this, and he definitely has a lot of emotion going on in the vocals in this, and that made up for anything that I disliked, about just the production. The songs are good, singing is great, and like I said, just production is not my flavor, but it's not bad. Production, it actually sounds good, but it's just not my style that I would prefer. But that being said, I would still listen to this. I think if this is the way he's going to continue and head down this road, then yeah, cool. And as always, I welcome anybody to share their feelings on it. If you're going to say something stupid, like Daughtry, whatever this and that, without listening to this first, don't bother, because you're just going to make yourself sound stupid. But listen to this first. If you don't like it, that's fine, whatever. We all have opinions, but you can't make an opinion on something you haven't heard. So anyway, like, share, subscribe to keep this music alive, because if he's going to continue down this road, like I said, I'm on board. And until next time, we'll see you.